What's up?
Hello.
Tyler Keith. Plugged on. Here with another album review. Crushing it in 2020.
We're already up to like
reviews.
what? We're already up to what? 6?
Maybe.
Is it 5 or 6? Something like that. Or at least that I've done. I've done like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You probably done a whole lot more than I have.
I think I've done about 6 on my own. So, yeah. Enjoying it. There's been a lot of very good music coming out and a lot of good new singles too. And coming up, well, it should be up by the time this is up. Top 10 Overkill songs is up, which was fun.
Yeah.
Coming up soon, probably this coming weekend, every Overkill album ranked. All 19.
Oh, yeah. That's a doozy of
Yeah.
that's a doozy of a list.
It was a hell of a good time. But today we were talking about Demons and Wizards and their new album 3, their third album. Demons and Wizards, if you don't know them, is a metal band from Hansi Kirsch, singer of Blind Guardian, and John Schaefer, guitar beast, riff beast from Iced Earth, the mind behind Iced Earth. These two guys, they were, I believe they were touring together back in the late 90s, and then they were just like, you know what, they were buddies, and then they really wanted to make music together, and then you have this band, and I was reading up on it, I did not know this. They named it Demons and Wizards because John Schaefer's riffs and writing is the demon side. It's a lot darker and heavier.
Gotcha.
And then the Blind Guardian,
like
Hansi's side, is the more wizardy, uplifting side.
All right, that's cool.
I'm like, that's a pretty cool name.
I can dig that. All right, when you put that context behind it, that's pretty rad.
So they put out their self-titled album in 2000, then Touched by the Crimson King in 2005, and so it's been 15 years since they've done anything, just because they've been so busy with Blind Guardian and Iced Earth. But, those two albums that they did together, I think, are very cool albums, and it's a very interesting pairing because it's not Iced Earth and it's not Blind Guardian, but it's got elements
somewhere in
of
the
all
middle.
of them.
You can hear like the stuff in it, but
yeah, definitely. And I don't know, you would like this. Reading up on it, Touched by the Crimson King, based off of elements of the Dark Tower series.
Ooh, I have to re-listen to that. I have to re-listen to that with that context in mind.
Yeah, thought that was interesting. So, anyways, let's get into it. What'd you think? And last, I'll say too, we are very big Blind Guardian Iced Earth fans, especially the Iced Earth side.
Yeah,
we ranked all those albums. Fucking love Iced Earth. Blind Guardian's great too. We should rank them sometime.
We should. There's a lot of bands that we need to rank.
Yeah,
there's a lot that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways.
I really enjoyed this album. I'll admit, by my first listen to, which we kind of talk about this a little bit during our Sepultura video, it was kind of hard to not pull myself out of it and be like, that's like obviously the vocals are going to sound like Blind Guardian, but like that's a very Blind Guardian-esque sounding chorus, or hear a riff and be like, Iced Earth. It was very hard the first listening to, but over time I kind of, I kind of was able to get over that and kind of see a lot of things. And I like how epic just everything feels on this album. Like there's everything is just sort of like, for the most part, like there's some other parts, but like I felt like a lot of the songs was like just this mid-pace, just sort of like, again, writing songs about like, the fantasy, demons and wizards and stuff, and that's super cool. I mean, because they put out, I think it was Invincible, Diabolic, Wolves in Winter, and Midas Disease, I think ahead of time. So I listened to those songs first, and even after hearing the whole album, I'm gonna admit Wolves in Winter's probably my favorite song on the album. Good. Again, mostly because I love, and Iced Earth does this a bunch, and I'm assuming John Schaefer does it, the main riff and that song where it's just where he throws the trot in every once in a while. That's a very Iced Earth thing. I'm like, yes, I love that. That's like my favorite thing that John Schaefer does when he writes. But like, I just like a lot of stuff like that. It's also just weird because like a lot of songs, like I think of like Diabolic and also Wolves of Winter, they're just like, and again, I feel like I say this a lot during albums because it's kind of something. Some of those songs just go. Like there's not really like towards the end of the song, Wolves of Winter kind of becomes a little more streamlined, but like it just kind of doesn't really necessarily follow a hard and fast like structure, I feel. But production wise, I like how everything's balanced because I remember the last Blind Guardian album we reviewed. It was what 2015, 14? One of the two. It's been a while since they put out an album. That was my one big complaint with their last album was the vocal mixing. It's just like boom. It seemed very much, whereas I feel like it's a little more. It's still very much like mixed in the style of Blind Guardian, but like I feel like it's a little bit works a lot better in this context. And I mean, just the marriage of those two ideas of Hansi's vocal style, and I'm assuming he writes all the lyrics. I would assume, and Jon Schaffer's guitar riffs. It's just this is a band I didn't know I needed.
Yeah,
but I do, and so I just enjoyed it. Universal Truth's another really cool song that I like. I like the album ending on Children of Cain. Mm-hmm. I really liked it. It's like it's very cool song, and like what's the other Dark Side of Her Majesty's another song that I really like a lot. It's a good album. I'm gonna before I just start repeating myself. It's a good album, mixed well. I like the vibes. I hope it's not another 15 years before they put out another album.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully they tour. I'm gonna put that out there. I hope they. Well, I don't know if this album. I don't know if they tour with this band. Do they or no?
So they've done some touring, and in 2019 they did their first ever U.S. tour. Mm-hmm. But on the flyer they said the first and only U.S. tour. So
we missed it.
You never know, but I think that kind of sucks if they never come back because they have a new album out with some awesome new songs. Like people are going to want to hear that.
I mean, who knows?
Unfortunately, they weren't around us, or otherwise I would have fucking went.
But who knows? Maybe like
maybe
if they get like for whatever reason this album catches fire or whatever over here, they can come back.
Yeah. So. Two, before I get into something, just so people don't correct us in the comments, Blind Guardian did put out an album last year, but it was called the Blind Guardian Twilight Orchestra, and it was this big, long, it was like I forget how long it was, let me look it up, 2.5 hour album called Legacy of the Darklands that, one of those big concept albums. There's a ton of interludes and all this stuff, and it was very Blind Guardian, very that over-the-top symphonic metal sound. And to be honest with you, I couldn't get through it.
That's fine.
I'll be totally just fucking blunt about that. And it's not that there's a lot of interludes or anything. It just was not grabbing me from a songwriting standpoint like a typical Blind Guardian album does.
That's fair. I'll think of it. So,
yeah, just throwing it out there for everybody.
Okay, I was not aware. I was not aware.
Yeah,
they put out an album last year.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I completely agree with you. I think this album's just fucking awesome, and it does a lot of very cool stuff. And I like that this doesn't have the speed and heaviness and in-your-face nature of Iced Earth. Mm-hmm. And I like that it doesn't have the completely insane symphonic orchestration over-the-top nature of Blind Guardian. It's kind of taking the best of both worlds and streamlining it a little bit and creating some really cool songs. And, that's what they've done on the first two albums, and I feel like they're continuing it here. And to me, this album it sounds so fucking good. I agree with you on the production. Like some of those choruses where it is a little bit more like their vocal arrangements are very much Hansi and very much Blind Guardian. Like I think of Invincible, Dark Side of Her Majesty. Midas Disease, like it sounds right. It's fitting. It's catchy. It's awesome, and it's just chorus after chorus on this album that is fucking amazing. My favorite is Diabolic. I love that chorus. I love the production of the kind of simple palm muted guitar during that chorus, and then Hansi just sounds fucking so good during that chorus. But then you get to the end of Diabolic, where it's like all kind of slowed down. Mm-hmm. And it's just Hansi just steals the fucking show during that. It's like one of his best vocal performances ever, hands down, on that song. And every time I listen to it, I'm just blown away. And I also love how Diabolic starts with that just acoustic like guitar. Just really sets the tone for this album. And I'm like, fuck yeah. But Wolves of Winter is Diabolic's probably my favorite chorus. I think Wolves of Winter is the catchiest chorus on this whole album. Not only vocally from Hansi, but that guitar riff, the chord progression is so well done. And I love the build up. I love how that song starts. It's awesome. And one thing I like about this album is I feel what's cool about it is it has such a uplifting feel to it. And it just kind of puts a smile on your face in a different way, not like a Beast in Black or Glory Hammer way of it's just so cheesy, it's making you smile. It just puts you in a good mindset when listening to it. And songs like Children of Cain, Timeless Spirit is another slower one that just make you feel good. And that's just all coming down to the tone of this album. And I think it's very well done. But then there's a couple songs that just fucking jam out. Diabolic's one of them, Wolves of Winter, but Midas Disease. The way that starts off, just some simple guitars. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. That song took a while to grow on me, but I do really like that song in the end. Universal Truth's another one that I think has a really great, catchy vocal sections, and it's good. I like this album.
A lot of good shit.
I do. Apparently, basically, like, John Schaefer just writes all this music and then sends it to Hansi, and Hansi does his vocal stuff, and that's how this comes together.
That's fair.
It's only those two really writing. I mean, they get other people to help record some stuff, and obviously people to tour or play shows, but yeah, it's cool. It also, while I do really like this album, like, I'm in the mood for a new Iced Earth.
Yeah.
I'm in a mood.
It's probably about time for a new Iced Earth.
Blind Guardian.
It's probably about time for a new Iced Earth. Probably. Like what, 2017, 2018? Somewhere around there was when the last one happened?
Yeah. And I mean this in no disrespect to Blind Guardian, because, like I said, we like Blind Guardian a lot. I like when we saw, that's still one of the best shows we've ever seen.
That's still maybe my favorite show I've gone to. So
fucking good. And I know they started off as more of a speed metal band, and they have gotten to some really interesting places in terms of their sound. But it is very nice to hear Hansi sing over some fucking riffs sometime.
Yeah.
I know Blind Guardian still has riffs, but they're also a lot more about kind of the orchestration and the vocals and almost like you're listening to a play sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels good to just hear Hansi's voice over some just kind of stripped down music.
Yeah.
And I know that's how Blind Guardian started. They're not really that too much anymore. But yeah, that's just another thing that I really like about this album. So yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, 8.5. So solid score for this one. I like it. Let us know what you think of 3 from Demons and Wizards. Thanks for watching. See you.